all the procedures. So the activity or the verb, okay, the activities that you want to do, okay, and then in order to use the evidence to achieve the objective at the end. So you must have verb, you must have nouns, and you have the objective. So the nouns here is normally refer to the documentation or the activities. Okay. And then what are the things or what are the items, okay, you want to perform the procedures? Okay, we only cover this one for your topic, okay, or for your syllabus. Okay, for your syllabus. So we don't cover investment. Investment last year they cover until investment. This year potong pula, investment tak ada. So you untung lah. So no need to learn on the investment. So just one topic today, okay, on the NCA, non-current asset. Okay, for the non-current asset, so these are the overview of the chapter. So you will look at what are the key assertions, okay, you need to study or you need to achieve. And we focus only on the tangible non-current asset. Okay, we are not look into the intangible like goodwill, that one we don't cover it, but you cover during AA paper. Okay, AA paper instead of NCA, nanti you akan belajar intangible, okay, of non-current asset and investment. That one will cover in AA paper. And this one, this is the first part. We are going to, the first part is the key assertion. The second part is tangible non-current asset. Okay, and then for the using the work of management expert and the accounting estimate here, okay, this is you have to recall back, okay, what you have learned in the previous topic. Okay, in for your syllabus, okay, they do not cover in detail, okay, how the auditor use the work of management expert to determine the value, the correct value of tangible non-current asset. So this topic, okay, you only have to recall back and apply back what you have learned previously. So but in AA paper, this topic will be covered in detail. Okay, same thing. So that's why when you take a AA paper letter, do not, okay, after you finish your FAU, don't throw the notes or the book to the place that you don't want to see them, to see it again. So you have to cap it, okay. Suka ke tak suka, AA paper tu kena ambil. Mesti lulus. Okay. So these are the assertions. So this is the first part. Okay, you are going to look into. Okay, the first part. This is actually recall back what you have learned before. Okay, you have assertion for the this one. If you look at to the NCA. Okay, class NCA, it will appear in which statement in the financial statement? Which one? For the non-current asset, transaction or balances? Ika?
Balances.
Okay, thank you. Balances. So we focus more on the balances, but sometimes, okay, if the question, because the NCA here relates with the depreciation also, so maybe you have also to test, okay, depreciation item in the transaction, okay, transaction. Okay, so for the balances, okay, you have to look at whether the transaction, whether the balance of NCA exists. Okay, so can you see clear or it's smaller? I nampak macam kecil. Okay, better right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So for the existence of asset. So you know that, okay, I insert slide lah. Okay, new slide. Okay, for the NCA, so normally it appear in statement of financial position. Okay, so you have the what you start with NCA kan? Is it you start with NCA?
Yes.
Betul.
Okay, so you have the NCA. So normally you have here notes. Okay, notes. Okay, NCA maybe notes number 4. Okay, so you have, let's say, how many? Berapa? 5 million. Okay, 5 million. So NCA, the 5 million here. So you have to, this is assertion by the management. Okay, in the financial statement, they said that they have the non-current asset 5 million. So as an auditor, okay, you have to gather evidence. You have to find evidence. Okay, that 5 million is exists. Okay, so that's why you have to check on the existence of the non-current asset. So the NCA here, okay, NCA, so notes number 4 ni, it is the schedule of the, okay, in the explanation of NCA. So you have to look to notes number 4. Okay, they have the schedule of the non-current asset. Okay, so schedule of non-current asset where you have this figure of 5 million, the total. Okay, the total of 5 million. So it comprises of the cost. Okay, let's say they have the machinery. Okay, they put it one by one. Cost less accumulated depreciation. Okay, and then what is the figure? And then they have the addition. Okay, if the company purchase the machinery during the year, they have addition. And if the company dispose the machinery, they have the disposal. So all this figure, okay, in the schedule of non-current asset, the auditor should check on their existence. So addition represent asset acquired in the year and disposal represent asset sold or scrapped in the year. So look at to the addition, look at to disposal, and also recorded asset represent those in use. Okay, so those asset in use, they have in their general ledger and they have in their asset register. Okay, second assertion you need to look at in terms of the completeness of the transaction. Okay, addition and disposal, okay, must be recorded. Okay, must be recorded in the general ledger, and balance represent asset in use. So balance that they have asset in the financial statement. So this is the balance. So it must be completely recorded. Okay, and it is used. So means that the condition. So when you check the existence of the asset, so at the same time you will check the condition of the asset. Right. Right and obligation. So for the right, when you check the physical existence of the asset, physical inspection, you cannot see the right. Right can only be sure or be confirmed, okay, when you inspect the company record, okay, such as title deeds of the asset. Okay, the entity has right to the asset purchase and those recorded at the end, or you can look at to the purchase price of the the purchase invoice of the asset, or you can look at to the lease agreement. Okay. Accuracy, valuation and location. So NCA should be correctly stated at cost less accumulated depreciation. So that is important because that is presentation under IAS 1. Okay, presentation under IAS 1. So the asset should be recorded at cost less accumulated depreciation, and you will get the carrying amount. And classification, tangible asset has been recorded in the correct account. Expenses which are not of a capital nature are taken to profit or loss. So expenses is for depreciation. Okay, so non-current asset recorded at the correct account. So if they purchase the non-current asset plus any capital expenditure incurred to the current asset, so to the non-current asset, then that should be recorded properly. Okay, capital expenditure. And a presentation, disclosure relating to cost, addition and disposal, depreciation policy, useful life, okay, are adequate and in accordance with the accounting standard. So that is estimation. Okay, correct presentation, follow IAS 1. So that are some assertions, okay, that you need to look into when you deal with the non-current asset. So normally in the non-current asset, they are focusing on existence, completeness, right and obligation, and correct valuation. This one. So this four. So focus to these four assertions. Okay. Okay, the key area when you test the non-current asset, you look at, okay, according to the confirmation of ownership. So this is in terms of right assertion just now. You need, okay, if you want to check the ownership, okay, you need to send a confirmation. So as the procedure, okay, confirmation of ownership. Inspection of non-current asset, inspection. So this is to check on the existence, to get evidence on the existence. Okay, valuation by the third party. So this is for the correct valuation. And adequacy of depreciation rate. So this is in terms of the adequacy, in terms of the correct valuation. Okay, valuation of the depreciation rate, reasonableness, reasonable rate. So this is under accounting estimate. Yang kita dah belajar sebelum ni, accounting estimate. Okay, so any question for the first part? For the assertion part? This is the first part, yes.
Yang dekat existence kan?
Mana yang
table tadi tu.
Number
3.
Okay. Fine.
Kat situ kan, existence tu dia tulis as addition, disposal semua kan. Tapi kalau valuation tak termasuk
tak. Existence, valuation tak masuk dalam existence. Sebab bila kita nak tengok valuation tu, kita kena value kena ambil kira depreciation, tolak dengan accumulated depreciation, semua tu. Existence ni bila kita inspect je kita boleh dapat existence. Ni kita guna yang prosedur yang ni, inspection ni. Kalau valuation ni selalunya kita akan lebih detail lagi. Kita tengok kepada completeness dia. Dia sama macam inventory semalam lah. Sama.
Oh, okay. Faham. Thank you, madam.
Okay. So, ada lagi soalan? Ada lagi soalan tak tentang assertion? Yes, good question. Sometimes the MCQ will tested you like that. Okay, if you perform Okay, what are the objectives that you will least achieve when you perform existence? So nanti dia akan bagilah jawapan tu, correct valuation, condition, existence, ownership. So you kena tahu apa setiap prosedur tu, okay, apa assertion that you are going to achieve. Okay, boleh? This is in terms of internal control, so which relate to the substantive procedures. Okay, you have to use all the information, all the knowledge that you have learned in internal control, especially regarding the non-current asset register. Ingat tak masa kita buat internal control dulu that on the non-current asset, the most important document that the company should maintain is the non-current asset register. Okay, and I already give you example of the non-current asset register. Is it correct? Still remember?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay. So non-current asset register is very important aspect of the internal control system. Okay, it enable asset to be identified, comparison between the general ledger. Okay, so if you want to check on the completeness of the transaction, so then okay, the asset register should be compared to the general ledger, non-current asset register, and the asset itself. Okay, to provide evidence that the asset are completely recorded. Kan bila kita tengok completeness of the transaction, okay, it involve the document. So it must recorded from the documentation, the source, okay, from the purchase invoice, okay, to the ledger and end up with the general ledger. Okay. So these are the example of non-current asset register. You have description of the asset, date, cost, depreciation, carrying value, a method of funding, whether there are funds by leasing, by loan. Okay, kat sini kena tengok leasing or loan. Okay, long term loan. So why you need to look at whether they are under leasing or under loan? Because lease ni dia tengok ownership kan. So you have finance lease. Belajar tak ni? Finance lease dengan operating lease. Ada tak belajar dah FA? Lupa dah. Kalau ada, cakap ada. Kalau tak ada, I cerita sikit. Macam semua cakap tak ada lah. Ha? Ada tak Jaminah? Ingat tak? Dalam
Ada, madam.
Okay. So because leasing, kalau finance lease, at the end of the leasing period, the ownership goes back to the lessor kan? Lessor. Tapi operating lease ni pula, if at the end of the leasing period, the ownership goes to the lessee. Kan? Betul tak? Salah. Lessor. Lessor is the person who get the loan. Betul? I pun dah confused. Lessee and lessor. Okay, salah. Yang ni terbalik. So dia akan bagi kepada lessor, jenis lessee. So mean that the ownership, you look at, kalau operating lease, then the end of the, or at the end of the lease period, okay, the asset goes to the company who get the loan, okay, lessor, okay. But for the operating lease, the ownership is not belong to the company. The ownership belongs back to the party who give the loan, the leasing agreement. Okay, that is between funding method of loan. Loan lain, loan macam they have a long term liabilities. Then at the end of the period, Okay, the ownership is goes to the company. So that is loan. Okay, disposal proceed. So this is gain or loss. Okay, gain or loss on disposal. So because it affect the gain or loss, you trade it under capital gain ataupun ada revenue. Dalam FA, gain or loss on disposal. Amni? Anyone? Who remember how the treatment of disposal proceed? Gain or loss on disposal. Is it you put it under other income? Gross profit. Lepas tu other income ada gain kat sini. Betul? Gain on disposal. Ke you masuk kelas? Tell me.
Changes in equity.
Oh, okay. So mean that is capital gain. Not under gain on disposal. Okay, thank you, Abni. So means that you put it under comprehensive income, betul? Is it? No. You just recognize it under financial position, right? You put it under reserve, betul? Ada effect PNL tak? So you put it under capital reserve. Sebab you kata tadi changes in equity. So it will increase, kalau dia gain, increase the capital reserve. Betul? Credit capital reserve. You check back lah. You tak nak share dengan I. Okay, disposal proceed, gain or loss. Okay, and disposal date, when it is disposed, location of the asset and the supplier. So these are all in the asset register. So how you are going to test? Okay, entries in the register can be tested for existence. Okay, by inspecting the physical asset. So this is what you should do. Okay, when you want to check on the existence assertion, the procedure is inspection the asset. Bukan inspection the document ingat dia ada inspection, you have to. Okay, inspection document and inspection of asset. Okay, so bila you nak buat in the building the sentence of the procedure, okay, so it's better you specifically put the word correctly. So if you want to inspect document, inspect the, as I said, be specific, inspect the NCA, non-current asset register. Okay, to verify the existence of NCA. Okay, so that's how you build your audit procedure. Okay, and for the control part, okay, this is from the point of view of the test of control. Another significant control is on acquisition and disposal. Okay, the acquisition are properly authorized, dispose are authorized, and proceeds are accounted for. So this is from the point of view of control. Okay, for the control. Jangan confuse kalau soalan tu minta control procedure, it must achieve the control objective. If the question asks you on the substantive procedures, it must it must achieve the assertion objective. Okay, boleh? Okay, so other significant aspect that you have to look into the control, okay, are the security arrangement over the non-current asset. So this is in terms of the security. Maintain it properly. Okay, all income is collected from income yielding asset. Income yielding asset ni adalah okay, income that yield from the asset. So let's say the asset you own it, the company, sorry, not you is an auditor. The client own the asset. Okay, at the same time, okay, they are use the asset, the asset has been rented up okay, rented up to others in order to generate the yield, okay, the income. So let's say they build up, they have the building, okay, okay, and part of the building space has been rented out, okay, rented out, okay, and this is the treatment you have to look into the record is it should be recorded under revenue receipt. So this is under other income. Okay, income generated from income yielding asset. So this is what is it mean. Boleh, class? So this is the term that you use, income yielding asset. Nanti you tengok apa benda yielding asset. Okay, dalam FA you pakai term siapa? FA. Yasmin dalam FA apa Yasmin? Is it same?
Yes, madam.
Is it same? Income yielding asset term dia?
It was my first time to hear yielding asset.
Oh, okay. But normally in FA, if I'm not mistaken, they use it under other income. Is it correct?
Yes, it is still correct.
Yeah. So in audit, okay, normally they use the different terms, but actually it's the same thing, So in audit, you might see this term, income yielding asset. So the income is come from the capital asset, okay, but it is not treated as a capital gain. Okay, sebab itu dikata income yield asset. Pendapatan tu datang daripada asset. So it example where the company have a building, so the building, some of the space of the building rented out. So the rental receipt tu kalau dalam accounting dia consider as other income. But in audit dia consider is income yield from the asset. So it's recorded same thing, okay, recognizing dia sama, okay, letak bawah other income. So I just want to highlight that the income yielding asset ni is same as other income. Sebab nanti katalah soalan keluar, apa benda yielding asset ni. Okay. So that is the meaning of income yielding asset. Depreciation is reviewed every year because you have to check that whether, okay, sebagai auditor ni kita menyemak, okay, you semak. Okay, and then whether the depreciation rate, okay, is reasonable. Okay, reasonable. Okay, and then whether it is charged every year. Okay, every year. So this is ada IAS berapa? IAS 16 non-current asset IAS berapa? Anyone remember? 16. Not sure. IAS 16 ke non-current asset? Media? Okay, you yang belajar. So I rasa IAS 16. But maybe I'm wrong. So you have to tell me, okay, if I am wrong. So this is what the kind of thing that you have to look into when you look at on the test of control, okay, of the non-current asset. So this is the example. So what is actually the non-current asset register taken from the general ledger of the company. So extract of non-current asset register. So you have the purchase date, depreciation rate. SL is what? What is SL? 3 years SL. Siapa tahu SL ni apa? Agak-agak je lah.
Straight line.
Okay, betul. Straight line. Okay, straight line. So how many methods you learn in depreciation so far in FA? 2. Straight line dengan
Reducing
Step down.
reducing balance. Betul? In MA ada belajar management accounting, ada belajar depreciation? Ada kan? Dalam management accounting?
Ada.
Ada. What are the depreciation method used?
Dia ada lagi dua yang ikut dia punya hours work tu kan?
Okay, apa nama depreciation tu? Lupa dah tu. Mana boleh
Machine
lupa?
hour. Machine.
Machine hour method.
Useful life.
Apa pula useful life? Useful life tu untuk dia punya year of useful life. Guna useful life. Useful life straight line method kan?
Not sure.
Useful life straight line method. Straight line method ni dia ada guna useful life ataupun dia guna depreciation rate. Okay, dia guna rate let's say 20% ataupun dia bahagikan dengan useful life. So kalau cost dia 100,000, so the company estimate useful life file, so dia akan jadi 20,000 per year. Itu berdasarkan useful life. Kalau dia estimate based on rate 20% times with 100,000. So you akan dapat 20% akan dapat apa? 100,000 how many? 20%?
20,000.
Betul. 25. Is it 25 ke 20?
20.
20. 20,000. So macam tu. Reducing balance, you tahulah, and machine hour. So ada lagi I tak ingat lah. Machine hour method.
Unit of production.
Yes, unit of production method. Okay, thank you. So that's one you have to look at that sebab normally company ni dia based on their non-current asset plus the work in progress of the asset. So you kena tengok lah what is the asset they have. Sebab itu talking about inventory and NCA ni dia related each other. Okay, so you look at how the company depreciate their the asset. Okay, so kita ambil yang simple je lah, kita ambil yang dua ni. So this is in financial accounting part. Okay, you have computer A, computer B, computer C, machinery A and office furniture. So they are given the purchase date and also the depreciation rate. So 3 years straight line, 3 years straight line, 5 years straight line and so on. So you have the cost, total, accumulated depreciation and recurring amount. So in your statement of financial position, okay, statement of financial position, okay, normally there will, okay, yang ni tadi salah ni, okay, sekejap. Okay, you not straightforward show your the cost. So you must state the cost, okay, the accumulated depreciation and the carrying amount. Okay, so you have the cost here, cost total 84,000 minus accumulated depreciation 59,000, example lah. Okay, forgot. 84 minus 59. 84,000 cost. Okay, 59. Okay, 49 to 59. 59 and 25. Okay, the carrying amount is 25,000. So you have to check this one individual. You tak boleh tengok dekat, okay, cannot see straightforward to the statement of financial position kat sini. Okay, but you have to look at to the detail in the non-current asset register. So you have to look at this one, computer A, computer B, okay, whether they charge the depreciation every year. This is accumulated. Okay, depreciation is every year start from year 5. Okay, sekarang ni year berapa dia extract ni? Year 6. So you kena tengok year 5 depreciation how much? Okay, so every year. So dia ada 3 tahun. So maybe this is tahun yang pertama lah. Okay, year 5 depreciation. So accumulated depreciation as at 1st January year 5, 1,000. So this one, everything you have to check. Okay, so as part of their substantive procedure, Check and Co should compare NCA asset in the general ledger, okay, general ledger, with the non-current asset register and obtain explanation for differences. So this is the substantive procedure. You want to check on the completeness of the transaction. Sebab dia guna general ledger kat sini. So this is completeness. Okay, other than that, you can also check on the first you will get the completeness completeness objective, and at the same time you will check also on the accuracy, okay, of the amount. Okay, so if you identify differences, obtain explanation. Okay, you inquire explanation. For a sample asset which physically exists, so Check and Co should agree that they are recorded in the non-current asset register to ensure completeness. So you have to take a sample of existence. You dah buat tadi, physically inspect the asset. So when you physically inspect, you have to get answer that computer A exists, computer B exists, computer C exists, machinery A exists, and office furniture exists. Okay, once it is exists, then you should compare this current asset, okay, amount ni, cost semua ni, okay, in the general ledger. Okay, you kena check this one exists in general ledger. Okay, ada tak dalam general ledger individual asset recorded? Okay, individual asset recorded. And when you already check it in the general ledger, so means the transaction is completely recorded. Okay, they should also agree a sample of asset from the non-current asset register to the physical asset to ensure existence. So untuk yang first one, okay, actually you get when you get the current asset register, when you come to the office of the company at the final audit, okay, final audit masa you buat final audit tu, okay, you datang kat company tu, okay, you akan minta all the information relating the books. Okay, so masa kita buat audit tu nanti kita akan diberi satu bilik, and then we will ask all the document, ataupun bila kita datang tu dia dah siap dah all the documents on the table. So now is computer audit. So sekarang ni auditor tak payah susah payah, just stay at home and ask the company share the cloud apa tu drive. So you duduk kat dalam kat dekat komputer you and you check the asset, ask them the current asset register and you compare to the general ledger. Masa I dulu tu I check the file. Macam nak patah tangan menyemak file apa tu general ledger of the company. Okay, tapi sekarang senang. Okay. So any question? Ada soalan tak? So ini baru first part lah, belum kita nak masuk lagi on the substantive procedures actually then. Okay, ada soalan tak? Tadi kita dah tengok on existence existence dengan completeness. Kita dah check dua benda kat sini on the procedures for completeness and the existence. Okay, two assertion is already achieved. Any question?
Tiada.
Oh, tiada. Oh, okay, tiada. So you wanna break dulu ataupun nak terus?
Boleh.
Boleh apa? Boleh apa? Boleh dulu boleh. Terus boleh? Break dulu.
Boleh break.
Break.
Boleh.
Okay, break dulu. Okay, break. 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, so shall we proceed? Yes. Yes. Okay. So, mana pula slide tadi? Okay. So, we done on the completeness and existence. So, proceed with the right and obligation. Right and obligation. What is the document you need to inspect? Okay, when you want to see the right and the obligation, okay, of the non-current asset. So macam this is the example of freehold and lease properties. So freehold and lease properties, yeah, leasehold properties and freehold properties. Siapa tahu beza these properties? Freehold dengan leasehold. Siapa duduk tanah parents dia under freehold? Siapa nak tanya?
Masa pembelian rumah tak?
Masa beli rumah ke, beli tanah ke?
Nanti cakap dia freehold tu sampai bila-bila.
Apa? Siapa?
Nanti cakap freehold tu sampai bila-bila.
Sama dengan apa? Macam mana?
Tak.
Tak dengar. Oh, macam tu beli apartmen je. Kalau freehold, tak boleh beli apartmen under freehold. Dalam term bahasa kita apa freehold? Bahasa kita lah, bahasa kita. Freehold? Pegangan apa? Freehold.
Bebas.
Pegangan bebas. Okay, kalau leasehold? Pegangan?
Pajakan.
Pajakan. Okay, so this one is pajakan. This one is pegangan bebas. So, mesti ada beza, right? So, pajakan ni normally, kalau if freehold, is there any period? Is there any specific period you hold the properties?
No.
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 Okay.
Oh.
Leasehold
Leasehold, do
ada.
you have any? Yes?
Leasehold ada.
Leasehold ada. So, leasehold ni after the period, okay, of the lease, then the normally the properties it goes to who? Kepada siapa akan pergi properties tu? Okay, katalah tempoh pajakan is 100 years. So after 100 years, the lease, the properties goes to who? Siapa tahu? Katalah your parents purchase the house under leasehold properties. Leasehold properties 100 years. So after 100 years, okay, you pun inherit the house. Okay, you pun dapat parents you bagi you. Parents pun dah tak ada lah, katalah dah 100 tahun after that. Okay, the properties tu pergi kepada siapa? Siapa punya right?
Pemilik tanah.
Pemilik tanah. Now pemilik tanah is you. Sebab you dah ambil daripada parents you. Tapi after the lease period, property tu akan jatuh kepada siapa?
Government.
Yeah, good ada government. So kalau this is the process that you have to know in terms sebab you are the person who going to purchase the properties later. So ataupun you inherit the properties from your parents. So parents dah tak ada. So you yang hold that properties. So macam mana you nak buat? Okay, you tak nak dia jatuh kepada orang lain, then you have to apply back to government to extend the list, to extend the list of the period, and you have to pay the premium. So that is the thing that you have to know lah regarding the properties. So you have to know which type of properties you hold or you buy. Okay. So I know that your parents have so many properties. Then when they inherit to you, you have to know what to do. Okay. So in order for you to look at if you are the auditor, okay, you want to know whether the asset is under the right of the company. So you have to verify the title deed. Okay, ini macam kita grant lah, grant dekat grant tanah. Sebab kita Malaysia, we always call it grant. But actually it's called title deed. Okay, verify right and obligation. So when you examine the title deed, okay, so physical inspection of the title deed or physical. So that's why, okay, you nampak tak perbezaan examination dengan inspection tadi. Okay, when you inspect the document, so normally it goes to the for the non-current asset. If you physically examine the asset, you will get the existence objective actually lah. Okay, but I tengok dalam buku ni dia tak spesifikkan which one is physical examination, which one is physical inspection. So some other books dia differentiate if they are inspect the document, dia kata physically inspect the document. Bukan, dia just kata inspect the document. Okay, kalau dia inspect the asset itself on the existence, physically examine the asset. Okay, tapi you boleh guna physical inspection. So inspection of the title deeds verify right and obligation. It does not itself verify the actual existence of the building even if the deeds refer to them. The auditor should consider a physical inspection of any building whose existence may be in doubt. Okay, physical inspection of asset. Okay, physical inspection of asset, you will only get the existence. Okay, if you want to know about the right, you have to physically examine the title deed. Macam kita tadi, this one nak tengok on the completeness and existence of the asset, kita boleh tengok kepada non-current asset register. Okay, that is one case. Another one to check the physically existence of the asset. Okay, and you can physically check the asset. Okay, so sometimes you have to go to the client places ataupun you have to go to the where the asset is located. So kalau katalah macam kes Mara itu, you have heard about Mara purchase the asset in Australia where it come into argument, okay, by the politician. Ada dengar tak kes tu?
Tak ada.
Tak baca lah tu, tak baca, tak dengar kan. So when the asset is put under doubt, okay, ada keraguan, ada discussion in the parliament or whatever. So the government can appoint the auditor, and the auditor who are appointed must do a physical inspection for those building whose existence may be in doubt. So kalau kata keperluan dia untuk check asset to the Australia, so they have to go to Australia to check the asset. So where the asset is in doubt. Itu kebaikan lah kalau jadi auditor ni, boleh pergi melancong lah pada masa yang sama. Okay, so what happened? How should an auditor proceed to non-current asset where an audit client does not maintain a non-current asset register? Macam mana nak buat? So kalau ni tak ada. Ni non-current asset register does not maintain by the company. So benda ni semua tak ada. Agak-agaknya macam mana you nak buat? No. Ya, dah di kelas. Okay, fine. How you are going to do class? Macam mana tu guys nak buat? Kalau tak ada benda ni, what is the evidence you want to check? Okay, to see that the asset is exist.
Tanya list of non-current asset.
List. Ask the list for the non-current asset. Okay, lagi? Yes. Possible. Okay, ask for the list of the non-current asset. Okay. Yes. Other than that, teka je lah. Tak ada dah. Okay, so tengok kita tengok what is the possible answer. This is only the suggestion So if a company does not maintain a non-current asset, the auditor should ask the client for the schedule listing of a major item of the non-current asset. Asset listing ni tak sama lah dengan asset register because asset register is quite detailed where it should include all these items ni. Description, acquisition, cost, depreciation, carrying value, funding, disposal, rate, semua tu lah kan. So this is under non-current asset register. Tapi if the company does not maintain the non-current asset register, you only get the schedule listing for the major item of the non-current asset. Listing tu is not complete as current asset register. So this schedule should show the original cost and estimated depreciated value, indicate addition and disposal. Alternatively, auditor may have a schedule from the previous year. So if let's say the worst situation, you can look at back to your audit working paper last year if you are the continuing auditor. So just look at from your previous schedule, okay, and then if you want to look at in terms of the movement, okay, of the NCA, okay, in terms of the addition and disposal, you can ask from the management. And then what should you do to the schedule should be reconciled to the draft financial statement and verify. Okay, you should verify addition and to supporting documentation and should inspect the asset required. So that's what you do, okay, if the client does not maintain a NCA. Okay, any question? Okay, betul lah macam Amina said just now. Okay, you ask for the listing. So if in the worst situation that also not maintain the listing, so this is sometimes a very some company they not maintain well their accounting record. So maybe they have lack of knowledge or they have not enough money to hire the accountant or the person who work in as the finance division, okay, is not have enough knowledge and so on lah. So because when the company want to hire the human resource which are equipped with the knowledge in accounting is quite high salary, so they may not able to pay. So that is really why some company may not have a good internal control system. Okay. Any question? Ada soalan tak? Boleh. So kita tengok, so this is the activity 2 where you have the schedule of the asset. Okay. So you have same thing on the asset register tadi, land, building, plant and machinery, equipment, motor vehicle and the total. So you are given the cost. So as IAS systems require, okay, all the non-current assets should be recorded at a cost or at a valuation. So this is the things you have to look whether it is stated at cost or at the valuation, and you have the depreciation, okay, and you have the how to record the disposal. They have also disposal here, okay, and then okay, you have to state the value, okay, the carrying amount of the asset, okay, asset, the date that you prepare the account, carrying amount, and the last year figure, okay. So what should you do to the last year figure here? Okay, bila you dapat this kind of statement, okay, the schedule of the current asset, the schedule of non-current asset, okay, under asset, non-current asset register, okay, first what should you do to the balance last year? So ni, as at 30th September year 5, dia akan jadi opening balance in year 6. Okay, opening balance in year 6. So what should you do to the opening, to the closing balance last year with the opening balance this year? Okay, so the opening balance, okay, should be agreed to the signed financial statement. So dalam financial statement tu, okay, signed financial statement ni is approved financial statement after audited. Okay, approved financial statement after audited last year, and any breakdown provided by the client to ensure they have been carried forward accurately from the previous year. So that figure, so as at 30th September, okay. So which one is the amount? Sekejap tengok total, okay, the total This last year figure should be a rise in the opening figure for current year. So this one will become the opening. Okay, so you nampak macam takkan dia tak buat salah. So yes, it's because normally they are kept by system. Sometimes they have a difference between opening balance and closing balance, tak sama. So this is actually the first thing you have to do when you do the audit. Okay, bila kita buat audit pertama kali, okay, as a junior audit ni, senior auditor akan kata, okay, today you check opening balance, dia kata. So kalau you tak tahu apa nak buat ni, so to check the opening balance, you have to take the the financial statement last year, and then you look at to the general ledger opening balance. So that's what you are going to do. If the opening balance and if the closing balance last year, okay, bring forward to the current year at the same figure, then you said the amount is true and value. So that's what you are going to do with the asset, non-current asset register. Okay, any question? So this is actually what I tell you what is going to do in your audit. So these are all the audit procedure for to check the completeness. Tadi kita dah check a few example how to do the completeness objective. So yang mula tadi, so you have to check with the obtain a prepared summary of tangible asset. So this one ataupun you ambil obtain a non-current asset register, reconcile with the opening position. Itu yang kita buat ni tadi. Ni. Okay, so this one to show the completeness of the section. Okay, any question for the first one? Boleh? Syamina boleh? I nampak Syamina dekat.
Boleh.
Okay. So untuk completeness, the second one, yang ni compare non-current asset in the non-current asset register. Lepas tu banyak sangat dia compare ni. Sekejap compare non-current asset ni amount in the non-current asset register with non-current asset in the general ledger. Okay, compare in the general ledger and then obtain explanation for differences to confirm completeness of the general ledger. So macam mana yang kita buat tadi lah, kalau you ada figure yang lain, you identify this one, okay, different from what they record in the individual general ledger, yang ni, and this one. So if the item different, so ask for the explanation. Okay. After that, you take a sample. Okay. Lepas you dah compare kan what item in general ledger with the non-current asset register tadi. Okay. You take a sample, match a sample of asset. Okay. So match a sample. So maksudnya pilih satu sampel. Which one? This one. Okay, katalah you take computer ada 3, take computer A as a sample. So if you want to take computer A as a sample, then you check to the non-current asset register to confirm completeness of the asset recorded in the non-current asset register. So you match a sample pula, ambil satu sampel. So you nak check on the completeness. Okay. Tadi tu the whole, semua sekali. Lepas tu check satu sampel or a few sample. Sebab yang ni satu. Okay. So kalau you nak kata match a few sample pun boleh. Okay. If the non-current asset register is not kept. So katalah you, if the company is not kept the non-current asset register, obtain a schedule showing the original cost and present depreciated value of major non-current asset. Reconcile the schedule for the non-current asset with the general ledger if you want to make a reconciliation. Okay, so that is the audit procedure for completeness. Okay, this is audit procedure for existence. Existence ni senang, valuation. Ni. If you want to verify the valuation, so valuation certificate ni, okay, verify valuation to valuation certificate. Normally this one is done to the asset where have a current value different from the cost. So katalah you nak the company is going to purchase the land. Okay, land current year value. Okay, with the maybe the land has been purchased for 20 years back, 20 years before. Okay, it's different, right? The cost will be different. 20 years before and current year's value. So in order to get the correct valuation of the land, so you need to ask the land surveyor. Okay, to value the land. So whatever the new land, katalah kat sini tadi, mana ada tak valuation? This one. So dia kata revaluation increase. Okay, revaluation increase for land and building dia. Okay, previously at cost 7520, now increased by 1,200. So how you are going to confirm $1,200 ni, 1,200,000 is increase in valuation. So macam mana you nak tahu? So if you are not expert in that area, then you have to use the management expert. Itu ataupun you use your auditor's expert. So that is the meaning of valuation certificate. You get the land surveyor do for you. So you can check the valuation amount is reasonable. Okay. Consider reasonableness of valuation, reviewing the experience of valuer, scope of work, method of assumption used, valuation basis are in line with the accounting standard. So this one. This person ni mesti ada experience, scope of work is very determined, method use and valuation basis. And confirm revaluation surplus has been correctly calculated by recalculating it. So you kena recalculate the revaluation reserve. And consider whether permanent diminution in value of asset has occurred to determine whether any asset needs to be written down to their recoverable amount. So permanent diminution in value. Yang ni belajar dari FA lah. Mana ada permanent diminution in value for the asset should be take into account. Okay, boleh? This is regarding valuation or allocation. For the right, tadi kita dah cerita, you have to check to the title deed, land registry certificate and leases. So yang ni saya dah cerita in detail juga tadi to check the ownership right of the asset. So if it is vehicle, okay, inspect registration document. You jangan pula untuk vehicles ni you inspect title deed pula. Title deed tu untuk land and building and baru title deed or land registry certificate or leases certificate. Untuk vehicles you have to check the registration document for vehicles. And then you have to confirm all vehicles used for client business and you have to examine the document of title for other asset. Okay, so kat mana nak check document of title for other asset? Purchase invoice, architect certificate, hire purchase or lease agreement to confirm ownership. So I want you to use the correct documentation. Okay, this is the addition on the right and obligation. You have to verify the addition, capital, expenditure related to asset, properly allocated the asset, and asset purchase should be, this is not the substantive procedure, this is the test of control procedure. Grant, inspect grant application documentation. So apa lagi? For a sample of addition, verify the addition has been recorded. So this is for the completeness. Okay, yang mana completeness tu mesti letak dalam completeness assertion. Okay. So dia ada banyak lah self-constructed asset. Apa dia self-constructed asset? Siapa tahu kelas? Self-constructed asset. Can you give me an example of self-constructed asset? Anyone? Ada? Ini attendance saya. Tahu tak?
Ya, madam.
Tahu tak tentang self-constructed asset?
Tak sure, madam.
Not sure. Cuba ada idea. Hani ada idea?
Saya.
Hani ada idea tak on the self-constructed asset?
Contoh macam rumah tu dia yang bina sendiri, madam.
Rumah yang dia tu is the your client okay, good Ani. So is the construction company, is not the construction company, is bukan construction company. Apa nama dia? Property company. Okay, macam contoh Samdabi. Okay, they have their own housing development. Housing development, they develop the project and then they sold the project. So that is self-constructed asset. Okay, self-constructed asset. To confirm valuation, so this is the thing that you have to know. Okay, yang ni yang kita kena gunakan yang machine hour method tu, semua tu. Okay, so verify material and labor cost, so and overhead to invoice wages record to confirm basis for valuation. Sama balik lah macam kita belajar inventory semalam. And then confirm that expenditure has been analysed correctly and properly charged. Expenditure should be capitalized. So when the company should capitalize the asset and capitalize their expenses to enhance the economic benefit, that is under capital expenditure. Capital expenditure. Okay, capital expenditure. Yang ni you belajar dalam FA lah. Capital expenditure. So when the company are allowed to recognize the expenses as a capital expenditure. Sebab itu dia kata expenditure should be capitalized. So bila capitalized, dia akan increase the value of the non-current asset. So enhance the economic benefit, replace or restore a component, relate to the major inspection or overhaul. Okay, so bila dia expenditure that the company expense, okay, then it will increase the economic benefit of the asset, so it is allowed under IAS 16. Okay, verify that no profit element has been included in the cost to confirm that the costs are not overstated. This is important. Cost should not, okay, yang semalam tu lah sama lah, cost and NRV. Verify that no profit element has been included in the cost. Verify that finance cost has been capitalized or not capitalized on a consistent basis, and the cost capitalized in the period do not exceed the total finance cost for the period. Finance cost. Okay, bukan operating cost, finance cost under leasing. Okay. So these are to verify disposal. Disposal, macam mana you nak verify disposal? Confirm, okay, the transfer of title, sales price, dates of completion and payment to validate that the disposal has actually taken place and that non-current assets are not understated. Okay, so that is to verify disposal if the asset disposed on the current year. Lepas tu check calculation, and then authorization, proceeds are reasonable, current disposal tapi jual at harga kasih sayang, so zero. Okay, so you have to look at that, consider the proceeds are reasonable, because normally you have to look at the useful life. Katalah company car. Okay, company car ni normally they will sell the car after 5 years. So car ni katalah useful life dia for 5 years. So company normally will sell off or dispose of this car. Okay, dispose. So when they dispose, actually the what is the end value tu, nama dia? Carrying value kan? Useful salvage value, yes. The salvage value. Okay, normally they will put the salvage value zero. Okay, so is the company sell off at zero? Zero figure, so you have to check the reasonableness, okay, of the proceed. If the asset was used as security pledging, pledging. Security ni pledge, you cagaran, the company cagarkan asset as a security, ensure release from security has been correctly made by reviewing the appropriate documentation. So you have to confirm from the bank. Okay, bank confirmation. So if the asset are put as a security, okay, to make a loan, company. So loan, company nak buat loan, okay, a bank ask them to pledge some asset, so they put the asset as a pledging, as a security. So means that they have a lien on the asset. ada sekatan. So aset tu tak boleh jual until the security period, okay, is is due. Okay, so you have to check all that one. This is to confirm accuracy of the depreciation, review depreciation rate, asset life, residual value, replacement policy, experience, consistency, possible obsolescence. Okay, so this is on depreciation. Okay, confirm that depreciation has been charged on all assets. So there's some company, they don't want to charge depreciation, or they do not want to charge depreciation because since depreciation is non-cash item, then sometimes they might, if they charge depreciation, they will reduce the profit. Sometimes the company want to show to the shareholder that the profit is high. So you have to look at in detail because the company might have 1,000 item, okay, of in the non-current asset. So maybe lah the big company, so they might have certain things to hide or so on and so on. So then they might try to hide certain expenses. Okay, so they try to avoid charge depreciation. Okay, so you have to look at here. And sometimes also the tax, the inland revenue not allow certain asset, okay, certain depreciation. So under the taxation, capital expenditure of the asset. Kan, you belajar tax kan? Nanti you ada dalam this tax, this depreciation will be adjust back under residual income, chargeable income of the company. Dah belajar tak? Dalam tax. Ada tak ni? Belum belajar?
Ada.
Okay, so that's why you look at in terms of the overstated and understated of the item. Consider the reasonableness of depreciation rate. Sebab depreciation rate ni, kenapa kita nak consider reasonableness of depreciation rate? Because there is no specific rules, okay, untuk charge depreciation. Dia tak ada kata motor vehicle should be depreciated at 20%. Tak ada. So tak ada. Sebab itu that's why when you audit the company, you have to look at to reasonableness because dia tak specific. Okay, that's why dia come under estimate. Okay, for the revalued asset, ensure the charge for the depreciation is based on the revalued amount and re-perform calculation. Okay. So this is using the if you think that analytical procedure is necessary, so perform analytical procedures. Okay, compare ratio previous year and depreciation policy rate. Because policy rate ni dia mesti consistent. Okay, sebab itu dia tulis kat sini tadi mana example okay, example yang 3 tahun straight line tadi tu mana tak ada dah. So this one tak ada. Slide nombor berapa yang ada this one 3 years straight line, 3 years straight line, 5 years straight line. So means that every year they charge the same method. So okay, that is the depreciation policy rates of the company. And then confirm no further depreciation is allowed on fully depreciated asset. So kalau dia dah 5 years, so the salvage value is 0. So no more depreciation can be charged. Okay, kalau tak dia akan jadi overstated. Confirm that depreciation policies and rates are disclosed in the financial statement by inspecting the draft of financial statement to ensure proper presentation. So this is to ensure proper presentation assertion. So this is the example. Charge and commitment. What is the charge? Review for evidence for charges in statutory books and by company search. Okay, charge for the asset. Okay, charge for the asset. If there is a charges for the asset, okay, let's say in terms of the apa charge? Class charge for the asset. Apa yang bayar tiap-tiap tahun tu? Tukar. Okay, so that is the charge. So needs to have a review for the evidence, okay, to the land department. Okay, review leases. Okay, kalau asset to the list. Okay, and examine invoice received after year end, order and minutes for evidence of capital commitment. So pada kalau dia ada insurance, review insurance policy. Okay, untuk asset where they put it, where they take the insurance policy. Contoh vehicles, building, okay, sebab dia ada fire insurance lah for the building. Lepas tu sekarang ada damage insurance policy. Okay, so all that one you need to review the insurance policy. Selalu insurance policy ni dia akan letak dalam NCA register. Okay, NCA register. Okay. And this is the example of what you have in the case study. Okay, page berapa case study ni? Page okay, you have case study page 271. Okay, put the case study in, look at the case study page 271. So you have the information there. Okay, can you read the what actually the Emily do in Brown and Co. Okay, Brown and Co. So okay, so these are the case study. So of the Brown and Co, where the Brown and Co is a low risk, and it has been allocated to Emily. Emily is a junior auditor. The client has provided her with the following information. So these are the information on the NCA. Okay, NCA by the management. Okay. So dia bagi motor vehicle, plant and machinery, fittings. So the cost, okay, cost of plant machinery, cost of motor vehicle, plant machinery, fitting, and the total of the cost, addition, disposal, cost at 30th September year 2. So this is accumulated depreciation. Charge for the year is depreciation charge. Accumulated depreciation, carrying amount last year and this year. Okay, sama juga cost opening, cost opening last year and cost at end of this year. Okay, opening and closing lah, addition and depreciation rate. So what should Emily do for this NCA given register given by the by Brown and Co. Apa Emily nak buat? So this what Emily do. Okay, the first one dia kata agree. Nampak I kata tadi, when you start with the schedule of the non-current asset, you have to agree the opening position to the last year's file and financial statement to test the completeness of the transaction. So this what should you do first. Agree the opening position. So where is the opening position? This one. Ni. These are the opening figure. Okay, so this is the first one. You need to agree. Okay, agree the opening position to the last year fund and financial statement to test for completeness. Okay, any question on that? Ada soalan on the first one? Ada rangkla ke tak ni? Okay, tak ada Penat ke apa? Tak penat lah, baru je sejam belajar. Apa tu, second, select a sample of asset, okay, and physically inspect them. So maksudnya nak inspect the asset tu, you jangan inspect semua lah, because this is a low risk company. So just select a sample of asset and test for the existence. So that is the second thing you have to do. Select a sample. So you maybe select motor vehicles, select some a sample of plant and machinery here, and select a fitting. So check the existence. Okay, you tengok dia exist ke tak exist. So if you not go to the client places, so how you are going to select to check whether the item exists or not? Check to the non-current asset register and the general ledger. Okay. Select a sample of physical asset and trace to the non-current asset register for the completeness. So this is the second, this is the third one. Okay. For the completeness. Agree closing position to general ledger and financial statement to test on the, to verify on the completeness. Agree closing position. Where is the closing position? This one. Okay, the closing position at carrying amount here. This one. Okay, ataupun cost at the closing figure ni. All the closing figure you have to verify. Okay. Done. Number 5. Okay, number 4. Number 5, agree value. Value of sample. Okay, to purchase invoice to test the valuation. So if you want to test on valuation, right and obligation, okay, you take on check to the purchase invoice. Okay. Example lah. Okay, kalau you nak agree on ownership, okay, you boleh ambil agree a value, agree a samples of apa tadi? Take one sample, agree a sample of plant and machinery. Kalau plant and machinery tak ada title date. Okay, motor vehicle, check to the motor vehicle registration. Okay, to verify the ownership. Okay, so boleh juga. And say confirm the addition. So this is on addition pula, were properly authorized to confirm right and obligation. 7. Agree a sample of motor vehicle for registration document for ownership. So this is on what I talked just now. Number 8, confirm depreciation rate to the last year's fund. Okay, to test valuation. Okay, kalau nak be specific, confirm depreciation rate, okay, to the last year non-current asset register to test on the valuation. Okay, number 9, recalculate depreciation in total if possible, if not obtain breakdown to test the valuation. Okay, and 10, review minutes or can inquire the board of directors if there any capital commitment to test the right and obligation. Capital commitment is the pledging tadi tu. Okay, security. Okay, the company put the asset as a security to the bank. So that are all the test procedure, okay, you have from one case study. Okay, boleh buat tak dalam exam? Any procedure that, okay, you can take any of the procedure, okay, from the audit procedure tadi, mana kita belajar audit procedure. Okay, banyak tadi daripada existence. Okay, from the existence. Existence, like the first one tadi, existence. Mana? Oh, this one. Existence. Lepas tu, right and obligation. Completeness. Okay, completeness, right, valuation. Okay, right. Addition. Self-constructed asset. Disposal. Depreciation. Okay. And this is for the analytical procedure. Charges and commitment. Okay. So you boleh take each one and then you perform in the current asset of the company. Okay. So let's quickly, any question class? Ada soalan tak? Dah senyap semua tu? Tak dah?
No question, madam.
Pandailah you only person. So kita tengok sekejap exercise. Okay, lepas ni I share. Okay, so just number 1 kita tengok berapa yang kita boleh siap, yang boleh buat. Okay, number 1. Can you see the question? Can you see the question?
Yes.
Okay, so this, read first the question and find out the answer. So this is 2 marks question. Berapa minit kalau 2 marks? 2 marks is 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. So 4 minutes. Okay, kalau dah ada jawapan just put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Which of the following audit procedure would provide audit evidence as to the existence of the tangible non-current asset? Existence. Nak check on the existence. Okay, quickly put in the chat box. Tak nampak lah. Tak nampak. Okay, majority answer is, so what is the majority of the answer? Okay, what is the majority of the answer? The answer is B. Majority answer B. Oh, Emilia A. Emilia, why answer is A? B. Okay. So answer is B. Okay, so correct lah, all correct. Okay, for number 2. Okay, for number 2, what is the answer? Quickly put in the chat box. Cepat. Number 2. Number 2, Fitri, C, lagi C, Mimi C, Ani C, Zati C. Lagi Syamina C. Ada, tak nampak ada. What is the answer ada? Ada, Naim.
Saya tak nampak soalan madam.
Okay, C. Okay, so answer is C. Okay. So betul lah, right and obligation So because you are, you are auditing the title deed. Okay, when you audit the title deed, okay, you cannot see the existence of asset in the title deed. Jangan jawab existence, because when you check the title deed, okay, what is you have in the title deed? The owner's, okay, the owner's name, okay, of the asset. So dia tak letak ownership kat sini, pandai dia. Okay, right and obligation. Okay, so this one is B. Okay, check the third one pula. The third one. Okay, which of the following audit procedure would provide evidence that non-current asset reported in the financial statement are complete? So this one to check completeness. Okay. So A, B, C, D. Okay, right. So completeness. Okay, which of the following procedure will provide evidence that non-current assets reported in the financial statement are complete? Okay. Last, lepas ni I bagi dalam this assignment dalam Google Classroom. Okay, but so answer in the chat box. Okay, put answer. Ni yang baru ke? Amni B, Naim B. Okay lagi? Zati B, Fitri B. Oh, dah pandai. Okay, good. Okay, good. So, so 3 questions means you don't, you have understand. Okay, good. So I will put this as a exercise in the Google Classroom. Okay, good class. Okay, any question? Any more questions? Ada lagi soalan sebelum kita stop the class?
No.
No. Okay. So today good performance. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So